Religious leaders have the power to raise awareness and influence attitudes, behaviors, and practices to shape social values in line with faith-based teaching. With general elections carded for June 23rd, many may ask what politics has to do with religion and what role religious leaders play in this regard. Reverend Osbert James of the Presbyterian Faith explains.
What we have to help them as religious leaders to do is to understand what the issues are, to be able to discern the difference between character and charisma, policies and personality, So we have a responsibility to do that as religious leaders, to help them to think in terms of issues rather than personalities. The concern that I do have sometimes is that politics may cause divisions even within congregations. So we have to be able to help our people to be mature enough to discuss the issues without really getting into personalities.
Catholic Bishop Clyde Harvey of the Roman Catholic Diocese, in agreement with Reverend James, outlined one of the reasons many Christians are relentless to exercise their right to vote, not just in Grenada but in the Caribbean region.
Have allowed politics to take a certain form so that we see politics as politricks. And therefore we don't want to get involved in this thing that somehow we feel it's dishonest, it's corrupt, and so on. So one of the things that we have to do is to help our people understand involvement in the political processes, as distinct from involvement in an election campaign, is a noble vocation. The challenge now, if in fact young people are saying that we are more interested, is how do we help this generation of young people to really make some clear choices in terms of the values that they bring, not only to the election process, but to the way in which the society is organized.
Both Bishop Harvey and Pastor Stanford Simon acknowledged that the religious community has failed its members in many ways by barely speaking out on some political norms and practices.
You have this mass of the population who are expected to vote, but who are not fired up about anything. And in the context of Grenada, they're starving, they're catching their tail, they're poor, And how do we help them to really play an integral part in the process, especially when they are particularly vulnerable to what one might call the Campari and roti politics? They are very vulnerable to the little jersey and so on that they're handing out. Right. And so there's an education that has to take place. And there I feel the churches so far have not taken up that responsibility.
We have failed.
Yeah.
We have failed.
Okay.
We haven't spent a lot of time educating our people about the politics and encouraging them to do the right thing.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.